You're listening to Becoming Wildly Resilient, brought to you by University of Kentucky Human Resources Health and Wellness. Together, we will discover how we can thrive at work, home, and beyond. Hello, everyone. I'm Amy Rodquist-Kodet, health coach with the University of Kentucky Health and Wellness Program. Welcome back to Becoming Wildly Resilient Practices, where we explore research-based tools and tips that help us thrive more in the areas of life that matter most. Oftentimes, when we talk about resilience, we focus on individual strength, grit, or mindfulness. Now, don't get me wrong. All of these are wildly important. But research shows the most resilient people are not those who go it alone. They are those that feel deeply connected, supported, and held in healthy relationships. That's what psychologists call social well-being. And that's what we're talking about all month in all three of our podcasts. It's one of the most powerful predictors of both mental and physical health. But strong social ties don't just magically appear. We know this. They are built and maintained through something simple and profound, something called trust. Dr. Brené Brown is a social researcher known for her work on vulnerability and connection, and she developed a framework she calls the anatomy of trust. She created a memorable acronym, BRAVING, B-R-A-V-I-N-G. And it outlines the key ingredients we need to trust others and to be seen as trustworthy ourselves. For this month's practice, let's explore the BRAVING acronym together. It's not a checklist, but rather think of it as a daily practice that nurtures our relationships and supports our resilience. First off, we got B, which stands for boundaries. According to research, and we have talked about it at length on previous podcasts, healthy boundaries are not about being distant or cold. They're about clarity. Dr. Brown's work and other studies on emotional intelligence show us that people who articulate and honor their limits are more likely to experience mutual respect and lower levels of chronic stress. Boundaries protect connection. Okay, let me say that again for those in the back. I think it's such a huge point. Boundaries protect connection. Oftentimes we think it's the opposite. But without them, relationships tend to erode, we feel resentment and overwhelmed. So ask yourself, where do I need to be clearer about what's okay and what's not okay for me? The next letter is R for reliability. Trust is built on repeated small moments. Studies in relational psychology show us that consistency is where the magic lies. Reliability means you do what you say you are going to do, not once, but again and again over time. And it applies not just to promises with others, but the commitments we make to ourselves. Are we reliable with ourselves? When we keep showing up, even in small ways, people learn they can count on us, and we learn to count on ourselves. Letter 3 is A for accountability. Healthy relationships are not perfect. Yeah, I know. Surprise, surprise. Resilience is when people take responsibility when they mess up. Accountability means owning our mistakes, apologizing sincerely, and making amends. The Gottman Institute research on long-term couples repair, not perfection, is what matters most. It is the same in friendships, family, and in work relationships. Trust grows when we practice accountability without defensiveness, when we can repair in areas where trust or communication has broken down. The V is for vault. And this one might be one of the most important predictors of relational safety, because the vault means you don't share information or experiences that aren't yours to share. In other words, you honor confidentiality. People can't feel safe with someone who gossips, no matter how close they might seem to you. You know how this feels when somebody is telling you something that is way out of your business, right? You then wonder, okay, if they're telling me a story that isn't theirs to share about somebody else, what are they doing with my information? When others know you will keep their story safe, deep trust happens. You become a container, not a leaky bucket. The next one is I, which stands for integrity. And this one is all about alignment, choosing courage over comfort and values over quick wins. Dr. Brown says integrity is doing what's right over what's fun or fast or easy. I love that. I'm going to read it again because it's so good. Dr. Brown says integrity is doing what's right over what's fun, fast, or easy. Research from character education and values-based leadership confirms this. When our actions match our values, we feel stronger, we feel more authentic, and we are more respected by others. You can ask yourself, what does integrity look like for me today? N stands for non-judgment. When people feel judged, we shut down. And when we feel safe, we open up. Non-judgment means I can talk to you about how hard something is, and I know you're not going to think less of me for it. And I will do the same for you. Compassion-based studies show when we suspend our judgment, especially when someone is in deep struggle, we create space for vulnerability and empathy and healing. And lastly, in our braving acronym, G stands for generosity. This final piece is about assuming the best, which honestly is probably the trickiest one, at least for me. Giving people the most generous interpretation of their words, intentions, and behaviors. And for the record, this does not mean we ignore red flags. We know something's off, we ask about it. But it does mean giving people the benefit of the doubt when there's ambiguity. Research strongly suggests this mindset, what psychologists call positive attribution bias, strengthens bonds and lowers unnecessary conflict. So here's your invitation for the month. Choose one piece of braving. Pick a letter, any letter. And this week, see if you can practice it with intention. Maybe it's clarifying a boundary or owning and repairing something with somebody you care about. Maybe it's stopping yourself in the midst of a gossip session. Or maybe it's giving a colleague the benefit of the doubt or asking for more clarity when things just aren't adding up. Every time we practice these small trust-building behaviors, we strengthen the foundation of our relationships. And when we feel safe and supported and seen, we become more resilient. We bounce back faster. We show up more authentically, and we navigate the trickiest storms with a lot less fear and a lot more grace. So, thanks for spending a few minutes with me today. Keep building trust in small, brave ways. And remember, your resilience is not a solo act. It grows in the company of trust. And that's how we become more wildly resilient. So until next time, keep practicing and be well. Thank you for listening to Becoming Wildly Resilient. This podcast is brought to you by University of Kentucky Human Resources Health and Wellness. We offer a wide range of online and in-person services to support the well-being of UK employees, retirees, and their spouses. You can find experts in mental health, personal resilience, nutrition, and physical activity. We're ready to meet you where you are and address your unique needs. To learn more about the work-life and well-being services offered by UK Human Resources, visit hr.uky.edu/wellbeing. You can also connect with us on social media and YouTube by searching @UKY Wellness or by email at healthandwellness@uky.edu.